Hey guys, Marmalade here. Thank you so much for checking in with episode 4 of 5 Things. And what is episode 4 about? 5 ways to get over your worries and fears of hiking the PCT or any long trail. So in these 5, I'm not going to have them in any particular order, just 5 that I thought of that I think are good tips, that are helpful tips for you. Number 1 is experience. I can only speak for me personally, but as you guys know my story, if you follow me, I started about 5 years ago. I was actually kind of scared to go out into the remoteness. I started on the PCT in section hiking groups. I didn't own any gear. I had 0 experience. I barely was day hiking. I did a lot of car camping, but for me, that's not nerve-wracking to go when you're 10 feet away from another person, and I would do some hikes and it seemed to always be crowded. So when I started doing remote backpacking, man, was it a little scary. I always had this weird imagination, we're out there camping, even in groups in the middle of nowhere, especially on the PCT in the desert, that there was something out there that was for sure going to kill me. I heard all kinds of weird, strange sounds, and I think your imagination runs wild. It helped to be in groups. So for me, experience was key for me getting comfortable to be on a long trail. So whether you're out there with other people or yourself, just get out there and have repetition. Get out there and it gives you a chance to test your gear. But the more you're out there and the more experiences you have with good and bad weather and animals and just different experiences that happen and temperature fluctuations, all that, it gives you the confidence to know that you're able to do this. Number 2 is training, and it kind of goes hand in hand with number 1, but basically, hiking and getting out there and doing it not only gets you in shape, it gives you the confidence to know you can physically do it. I know that for me, as I said in the first part, that I trained on the PCT, so I was lucky that I lived close to it. That was a great way to measure myself. Training makes you mentally tougher, so I got in better shape. But some of the big mountains, especially like above Idlewild and Big Bear, places like that, were very tough for me being a bigger guy. And I struggled a lot, and many times when I was new at it, I didn't ever want to do it again. But I truly loved it, but it was just harder at the beginning because you're not in the shape. But you also are mentally weaker until you can experience it and do it over again. So train and train and train before you do a long hike. This year, in 2021, I've seen a ton of people quit within the first 50 miles, and it's because obviously you get an injury, there's nothing you can do about that, but just people that are not mentally and physically tough enough yet. They did no training whatsoever and just expect to come out and do it. So if you're going to do any long trail, train and train. Some people live in a flatter area where you can't simulate the mountains, so you can only do what you can do, but get the full weight of your pack on you, and just get out there and do it. So when you get to the trail and you're starting to through hike, it's just another day hiking. It's not your first day ever hiking. Number 3 is watch videos and read books. So that really helped me, especially when I was newer at it, before I could get out there very much and learn about the whole trail, especially when I was deciding whether I wanted to through hike the whole thing or not. I really, being an older person, I wanted to look at most of the trail to see, can I actually physically do it? Like how hard or how extreme is it? I had no idea what the whole trail looked like, just the desert portion that I hiked in. So as I said, I watched a lot of through hikers. I watched resupply videos on how to resupply and where and why. Ways to get stronger and train, things like that. So I watched a lot of different kinds of videos. I also read books. Yogi's Guide is a very good one. Not really books on the experience they had on the trail, but more about the actual trail and what to expect in different sections and things like that. I feel like knowledge gives you confidence and it's empowering. So definitely bone up on that and watch as many videos like mine, and read books and things like that. It'll give you a lot of confidence. All right, 4 is get some apps and maybe carry a compass and map. So I use GutHook. I'll show you a couple clips here of GutHook. I think the last survey, like 98% of the people had it on their smartphones. It's a great thing. It tells you everything from water sources to campsites, how far things are. It's just a great resource. It's live, so if somebody's at a creek right now and they get water at a creek, they can not only say they got water, but what the flow rate's like, if it's good flow, if it's dry, things like that. So it helps you plan when you're at a creek now. It helps you plan, well, how far do I need to go to the next water, things like that. So invaluable information, camp spots, things like that, so you can kind of plan out your day. I always, on my through hike, always looked in my tent, we'd look at the next day and kind of plan out roughly the shortest to the longest day. Things happen and sometimes you don't even go by that plan, but it's kind of nice to look at your next day and see, well, how much climbing is there? Is it a dry section? Is there a lot of water? You know, all that kind of stuff, and where to camp. So that's invaluable. So definitely get gut hook if you're going to be doing long trail. Most of the major long trails in the States uh, are covered by gut hooks, and they're getting more and more as we speak. Then with the compass and map, I've been meaning multiple times to take like a beginner's compass and map class at REI, and I've just never done it. I never carried them. Some of these trails are so busy, like the PCT. You know, I mean, you can get lost. People have gotten lost and disappeared, but it's very rare. For the most part, you're not going to get lost. And if for some reason your phone broke and you can't use gut hook and you're stuck on the trail, I mean, it's a busy enough trail that generally you could even stay put where you are, and somebody will eventually come along that does have, you know, an app and things like that. So, but I think some people I don't do it, but some people do carry a compass and map, and it's probably wise, just in case. Sometimes what they do is you don't need to carry maps for the whole trail. You can carry a section, you know, and just send the next section of maps in your next resupply box, things like that. So just carry a section and just throw it away or use it for a fire or whatever as you get past those sections with the paper. So yeah, that'll definitely give you confidence and help you feel more confident too. All right, the fifth and final tip is start the trail with friends or family, or join a tramily, which is a trail family, early on to gain your confidence and just learn how it works and what to do, things like that. Even when you hike with tramilies, which I did, I had a core of 2 when I hiked with Adam and Grant, but people came and went all the time. Even if you start out with 8, some people take a 0 or have to go do something or have to stop in town for supplies and they catch up. So people come and go. So you will have times when you're hiking all day or most of the day by yourself. You might even camp by yourself when you're catching up to the tramily or your head or things like that. But that's a good way, is to start with some other people. Even if you had like a family member hike the first 3 days with you, then go home, or a friend. A lot of people do that just to kind of ease into it and feel comfortable. So I think that's a good tip for you. Well guys, that about does it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was short and sweet. I hope it helps you a little bit. Definitely look into those 5 things that I gave you. It really helped me. I can only talk from personal experience. I hope you enjoyed that. Also, if you enjoy my channel, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Like the video, that helps a lot. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. If you want to check it out, the first one I think I have on there is my Patreon account, where you can actually donate monthly to the channel as low as I think $2 a month, and you can write that off your taxes, and it really helps me out. It all adds up, and it helps me create and do more adventures and create more content. So check that out. Also, I have even my PayPal accounts on there. I also have, I'm an Amazon affiliate, so if you check down there, I have a ton of links for gear, from headlamps to trekking poles to clothing to all kinds of stuff. If you need something, it doesn't cost you any extra. You just go down, you can click on the link if it interests you. It'll take you to Amazon. It costs the exact same price, but I get a little percentage because I'm sending you there, so that definitely helps. I also have a merch site where I have my Marmalade logo. You'll see at the end of this video. Check that out. You can pick up shirts. We have mugs on there, all kinds of stuff, so go check it out. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this one. That's number 4. And until next time, see you down the trail.